Predictive Policing, the Algorithm of Pre-Crime. Welcome back. I'm Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and this is the Predictive AI series. We are officially living in a world where you can be flagged, investigated, or even punished. Not for what you did, but for what a machine thinks you might do. Welcome to Predictive Policing, where intention is criminalized, algorithms replace intuition, and human freedom is reduced to a statistical likelihood. This is no longer science fiction. This is policy. This is infrastructure, and it's happening now. At its core, predictive policing is marketed as innovation. It uses algorithms, data modeling, location tracking, and historical crime statistics to forecast where crime is likely to occur, or worse, who is likely to commit it. That sounds like smart strategy, right? Preemptive insight, preventative intervention, until you realize what's really being built. A world where guilt is no longer proven, it's projected. And in that world, everyone is a suspect. Let's talk about how this works. Predictive policing programs take existing data sets, past crime reports, arrest records, 911 calls, neighborhood profiles, and feed them into machine learning models. The models analyze the information, look for patterns, and make statistical projections. These projections are then used to assign risk scores to certain areas, individuals, and behaviors. Police are then deployed based on these algorithmic predictions, not on new evidence, not on real-time crime, but on pre-programmed assumptions. Here's where it becomes a problem. These systems are built on flawed data. If a neighborhood has been historically over-policed, the data will show high crime rates, not because more crime is committed there, but because more people are watched, stopped, and reported. This is how predictive policing automates discrimination. The algorithm doesn't remove human bias. It scales it. But it gets darker. In some cities, predictive policing assigns individual risk scores, labeling people as pre-criminals based on who they associate with, how they move, what they post, and whether they've interacted with law enforcement before. You might not have committed a crime. You might not even be planning one. But the algorithm assigns you a number, and that number becomes your reputation in the eyes of the system. Once you've been flagged, every action you take is seen through a different lens. Every step becomes surveillance. In Chicago, one version of this system created something called a heat list, a database of individuals supposedly at high risk of being involved in gun violence. Most people on the list had never committed a violent offense. Many didn't even know they were on it. But they were watched, monitored, stopped more frequently, because an algorithm said so. Let me say that again. They were targeted, not for what they did, but for what they might do. And that might was based on nothing more than correlations inside a machine. This is the criminalization of probability, and it's fundamentally incompatible with the concept of freedom. In a free society, you are innocent until proven guilty. But in a predictive system, you are flagged until proven safe. That flips the entire foundation of justice on its head. It replaces due process with data scores. It replaces suspicion with surveillance. And it replaces evidence with prediction. Now let's go deeper. These systems don't just watch your actions. They read your expressions, your voice, your emotional tone. AI systems are now being trained to detect micro-expressions, those tiny shifts in your face that happen when you're nervous, angry, or uncertain. Some predictive models are even monitoring how you walk, how you blink, how you breathe. Think that sounds far-fetched? The U.S. Department of Homeland Security has already tested programs that use facial scanning at airports to flag suspicious travelers before they say or do anything. These systems don't need you to act. They just need you to exist in a way they deem irregular. Now ask yourself, who defines suspicious? The human? Or the machine? In predictive policing, intention becomes evidence. You no longer have to commit a crime to be tracked. You just have to fit a profile, a digital shadow, a data pattern. And once you're inside the pattern, it doesn't matter what your reality is. The system only sees probability. Here's a chilling real-world example. In Pasco County, Florida, the sheriff's office created a predictive policing program that targeted individuals deemed likely to break the law, based on vague criteria like past school suspensions, family background, and housing records. Officers visited these people, some of them minors, repeatedly, harassed them, monitored their homes, no warrant, no charges, just algorithmic suspicion. Let me repeat that. Children were harassed by police based on a machine's guess. That's not policing. That's pre-crime persecution. And once this kind of policing is in place, it doesn't stop with neighborhoods or schools. It expands. It migrates. It integrates with your phone, your car, your smart devices, your wearables. If you think predictive policing is just about law enforcement, you're missing the bigger picture. Because predictive systems are converging. Imagine this. Your location is tracked by your phone. Your mood is analyzed by your watch. Your voice is monitored during a call. Your credit score is tied to your behavior. And your social circle is flagged for political extremism. That data doesn't live in isolation. It gets cross-referenced. It gets fed back into the predictive system. Your digital footprint becomes your future rap sheet. And don't think you're immune because you have nothing to hide. This system isn't built to catch bad people. It's built to track everyone. And it punishes difference. It punishes unpredictability. It punishes deviation from the pattern. That means artists, entrepreneurs, dissidents, spiritual seekers, anyone who doesn't fit the mold becomes suspicious by default. We are being conditioned to accept this. We're told predictive policing makes us safer. We're told it's just data. We're told it's efficient. But when safety comes at the cost of freedom, that's not safety. That's programming. And here's where it gets even more chilling. You can't argue with an algorithm. You can't face your accuser in court if your accuser is a black box AI system. You can't demand transparency from a neural net that doesn't even fully explain its own outputs. Predictive systems are often opaque by design, meaning they don't even offer a clear reason for their decisions. They just present the outcome. You're flagged, you're denied, you're tracked, and there's no appeal. This is automated authority, and it's the death of accountability. Now ask yourself this. What happens when predictive policing gets it wrong? What happens when someone is falsely labeled a threat? What happens when a glitch in the system leads to real-world harm? The truth is, we may never know. Because once a system is predictive, it justifies its own outcomes. If you get arrested and the algorithm said you were high risk, it will be seen as validation. See? The system works. Even if it didn't. Even if it created the outcome by forcing you into the very path it claimed to predict. That's the feedback trap. The system shapes behavior, then uses that behavior to prove itself correct. And round it goes, until free will is a ghost, and choice is just a variable in a control loop. So how do we fight this? First, we name it. Predictive policing is not about stopping crime. It's about controlling behavior through fear of forecast. It's about turning your data into a leash. Second, we stop feeding it. Refuse smart surveillance where you can. Disable location sharing. Don't give up your biometrics for convenience. Stop normalizing systems that punish unpredictability. Third, we remember this. You are not a probability. You are not a risk score. You are not a data shadow. You are a living being with free thought, moral nuance, and divine intelligence. You don't exist to be modeled. You exist to be sovereign. This isn't just about policy. This is about personhood. Because once a system can arrest you before you act, once it can accuse your mind before it speaks, you are no longer free. You are no longer innocent. You are no longer human. You are a node, a profile, a forecast. And that future is already here, unless we resist. I'll leave you with this. Prediction is power. But unpredictability is freedom. The moment you choose something the algorithm didn't expect, you break the model. And in a world ruled by predictive policing, breaking the model might be the most radical act of all. Hi, I am Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and SOS, School of Soul has a brand new series, the AI and Future Technology series. Look, you know the world is changing. And no, it's not going back to normal. Normal is over, and what's coming next is beyond anything we were prepared for. The School of Soul, AI and Future Technology series includes 319 videos on 1. The Download Society, How Data Has Replaced Destiny. 2. Predictive Future. Your next moves aren't random, they're forecasted. 3. Social Credit Systems. The behavioral economy now governs access. 4. Hive Mind. Synthetic telepathy and collective algorithmic control. 5. Nanobots inside you. Medical, military, and programmable intrusions. 6. Grief Tech. AI-fueled digital resurrection and simulated comfort. 7. Uploading your mind, consciousness transfer, and data-based identity. 8. Deep fakes plus AI clones. The replication of reality and identity theft. 9. Quantum humans, the merger of biology with quantum systems. 10. Digital afterlife, where your data goes when you die. 11. Resurrection science, reviving life through synthetic methods. 12. Immortal science, the end of death as we know it. 13. Longevity science, gene editing, anti-aging, and bio-upgrades. 14. Designer babies, engineered perfection before birth. 15. Artificial wombs, birth decoupled from the female body. 16. 3D printing, printing organs, limbs, and even humans. 17. The humanoid era, the rise of synthetic beings among us. 18. Legacy humans, the slow phase-out of unmodified analog people. 19. Smart cities, algorithmic environments that watch and decide. 20. Cloud-based societies, citizenship without borders or bodies. 21. Hackable humans, emotion, memory, and behavior under code. 22. Biometric scanning, your body is your password and your prison. 23. Sex tech, intimacy reprogrammed by machines. 24. Extinction of gender, fluidity, deletion, and design of identity. Every topic is fully explored with real-world technologies, patents, case studies, ethical analysis, and future forecasts. These aren't someday discussions. This is already happening. Join the SOS School of Soul Vault to overstand the future before it's implemented on you.